Yep, that's the right one. Sorry, my own greed sickens me and I'm laughing at it. I mean, it's my channel. I can do whatever I want. But every time that I pin my VGN as like top comment, I just my own greed sickens me. Happens to the best of us. It doesn't know. Anyway, I'm setting up things. I'm still setting up things, so you know. There we go. That has been posted. The cat is going insane. Let me pull up my documents so it's easier for me to see what I have to do. Well, actually, I could also just use the Trello that I made for myself and I have not been updating at all. Gulp. Maybe I should. Maybe I should at some point, but I'm too lazy to do that. What is it? Yeah, I'm just gonna start drawing things and see how many I can do today. All of the lineages aren't even like not locked down, so we'll see about it. That's a Red Bull, by the way. This is the purple edition. It's like the only Red Bull that I like, to be honest. And this is the winter edition, but you know, that's no longer in stores, so I guess. I guess I'm stuck drinking this. I mean, I could also buy Monsters, but they were on sale, okay. Most of these designs are already like old OCs of mine. And I'm not gonna start doing my usual multiple rounds of sketching and multiple rounds of you know, coming up with a good concept because these are not gonna be fully fleshed out characters. They're gonna be examples within the, you know, sort of a textbook that I'm doing for the tabletop. So because of that, I will be working on this as like I'm basically going for the first idea that I have. Making them look very typical in a way. Then again, typical for my made up species and lineages. But like I said, most of them are old characters of mine. I made legs way too long. So it's kinda easy for me to just draw the characters in a bit of a more stylized way. Gotta make them fit the vibe of the project a bit more. Because before, you know, becoming a VTuber and becoming more of a VTuber artist, making models and making designs and stuff. Well, I have no idea what Raki is doing, by the way. Raki, get down. Please. You cannot turn on the lights. That doesn't even work. Raki. Thank you. excuse me. Before becoming a more of a VTuber artist, I used to be just full-on original character artist. I used to have a lot of OCs. Reki! Get down, thank you. Um, and I used to work on comic projects and everything. I'm sorry that I'm yelling. I feel like I could just talk to him normally, but he ignores me every time I do. So I have to raise my voice a bit. I don't like that pose, never mind. That was like barely even a human shape. I don't like that pose. That was... like barely human. Hold on, maybe I have to sketch it a bit better. Raki, please. Calm your ass down. There's no need for such behavior as of now. You are acting completely unreasonable. Just because I'm talking and you can see nobody that I'm talking to, does not mean that I'm going insane and you should also go insane. I need him to be more twink. This is, for example, an old OC of mine. Well, not really an OC, from a sort of world building project. One of the characters. I'm just gonna draw him a bit more sane because I want him to be really representing the lineage of people instead of whatever was wrong with him. Oh my god, the cat is really going for it today, huh? He's been acting all stupid the entire day though, so I don't know what I was expecting. Since I woke up, he's been all over the place. Is this twinky enough? I love having to ask that question when I'm drawing. I need the legs to be like really long and slender because that is part of the build of the people. I have written down most of the information for them already, so that is gonna help me a lot when I'm designing these sort of like example characters. Um, for example, the Equinox, but I'm probably not gonna end up calling them because that's a really annoying word to say, are basically Umamusume if they were unicorns instead of actual horses. Hold on, I gotta figure out the tail again. Of course, there is a couple of changes to all of that as well. So I'm gonna be sketching out multiple characters first and then going in more detail. No, the hair needs to be more. I, I keep thinking about like, oh, this is the way to draw this character, and the rules for it. I'm not drawing him in sort of current state. I'm drawing him when he was sane. Hold on, let me pull up this dude's reference shit. Because like I said, this is an old character of mine. Hold on, my throat is acting up again. Um, for a project that never ended up being anything. So I'm constantly thinking like, okay, this is how I will draw him. These are the rules, and then I have to remember that I have to make him sane. I'm going to steal the hairstyle though, because it's very nice. I like giving my characters very unnatural hair shapes. Like I know that would not probably be possible, but yeah, I don't know. He's wearing a wig or something. I like how it looks, so I don't care. I don't care if it's not possible. Sometimes you gotta make your characters extremely fancy. I'm gonna give him like one of the school sort of. Well, I wouldn't call them school uniforms, but that's kind of what they are. I don't remember how much I've talked about this project, but it's basically extremely academic version of D&D. If D&D wasn't a math game, and if you had to do with a lot of cosmic horror themes. That's way too long. Hold on, how do I do this? I'm working off of sketches that I have like on my table laid out. Unfortunately, I don't know how to draw in traditionally it seems, and all of them are very messy. All of them also look completely different. I'll figure out that once I'm really starting to sketch them out a bit better. Right now, I just need the shapes of everything laid out so I can easily start working off of them. Which is basically just that. Hello, boy. Hello, thing. How are you doing on this beautiful day? I don't know how weather is out there, but it is so bright outside. I'm gonna start with the ones that I have ideas for. Raki, you're not supposed to be at the table. Very beautiful day indeed. Happy Teal Day. Oh, it's Teal's birthday. I saw the post. I saw the post, but I thought it was like late or something. But mm, I just want to give every single character heals nowadays. I love drawing heals. They're fun to draw. I had to think about how teeth actually work if I'm drawing them. I love a Conti heal, exactly. Who doesn't love a Conti heal? Can you? Thank you. That's maybe a bit too twinky, but it's okay. It's fine. Once the pose is nothing like I thought it would be. Maybe, maybe I'm just gonna do that. Completely change my idea. Mm. How do I get back into art and enjoy it? I have no fucking idea. But like genuinely, I don't know. I just I don't know. Because for me, it's kind of just become a habit at this point. It's not really about how much it, it's gonna sound horrible. I do enjoy art. I love drawing, but it has become more of a habit to me than just something that I do because I enjoy it. Because I went to art school. Now I'm working to study like game graphics and shit. So it really has just become something that is kind of daily to me. I do commissions. I work on a lot of projects. Like I do still enjoy it, and I do still count it as one of my hobbies, and it's something that I do just for the sake of drawing. But I don't know how to get back into it. I genuinely have no idea. Because for me, no, art is no longer something that I'm just like, oh, let me just draw today because I feel like drawing. I usually have a reason why I'm drawing, so God, I wish I could still just be like, okay, today I feel like drawing, so I'm gonna draw something funny and silly and continue with my life, but no. Most of the time it's because I'm required to draw something. I guess my best guess on how to get back into it, just draw. I mean, there is no pressure for it to be immediately good. No one's gonna look at your art and be like, well, you're not immediately good, so you should not be drawing. Just draw. Just like buy yourself a sketchbook every day. or whenever you feel like it. Um, you know, just buy a sketchbook, and whenever you feel like drawing, just draw something. It doesn't have to be anything that like you're gonna finish or you're gonna work on a bigger scale. Just whenever you feel like it, go for it. I guess that's kind of the way that I also keep myself still interested in drawing and kind of avoid it becoming a sort of a job instead of just a hobby. By really only drawing when I feel like doing so. If I don't feel like working on a commission or a project that day, I'm not gonna force myself into doing so. I'm not gonna tell myself, well, I have to. I'm just gonna be like, okay, well, maybe tomorrow. And I guess that's like the reason why I still have a sort of a healthy relationship with my art, even though I kind of draw most of my time. Art pisses me off because I'm bad on bad at it. But how do I get good without drawing? Yeah, that's kind of the thing. You can't really progress in art if you're not drawing. You just gotta have to. You just gotta have to draw. It's not something like, I don't know, learning math or learning about history. It's not like, well, you have to, I don't know, uh, do math. You have to solve these complex things to get good at it. You can like watch tutorials. You can watch videos about it. Same with like history or religion. If you don't feel like reading about it, you can just go on YouTube and like look up a video. But with art, you kind of have to be the one drawing to get good at it. You can look at tutorials, you can look at other people's drawings, but you're never gonna really learn from that if you're not doing anything as well. Sure, it will help you if you understand what you're doing, but it's not gonna make it so that you can just out of all of a sudden just draw, I guess. Hell, I've been drawing for like years at this point. I still have days when I need to take a break because I genuinely cannot get anything good on the paper or on the canvas. That's also another thing. Take breaks, don't force yourself into it. If you make it something that you have to like dread, you're not gonna enjoy it. If you make it something that like every time you think about drawing, you're like, okay, well I have to draw this, you're gonna end up hating it. So just generally just only draw when you feel like it. Taking a 6 year long break now, is that enough? Maybe it is. Maybe it is enough. Genuinely, one of the reasons why I hate how nowadays, kind of in the art community, if you're not constantly keeping up with trends and constantly putting out more art, you're not gonna get any sort of visibility. Because like we're so used to content being constant. We're so used to like every day seeing something from our favorite artist and uh seeing 1,000 people participating in a art trend that has become a thing that day immediately. Our brains are wired into expecting the content to be there immediately. And a lot of people do not think about the time that it takes. I mean, when you really think about it, a lot of the greatest artists like historically, the biggest names historically, they don't have that many finished pieces when you think about it. They don't have a lot of finished pieces. Most of the galleries, when you go and look at some like famous artists, most of them are gonna be sketches, studies even, and then there's gonna be like maximum of like 20 actual finished pieces. Nobody expected them to daily put out some sort of content, put out finished pieces daily. And I hate how, because of art trends and because of social media, it has kind of become a thing that if you're an artist, the more you produce, the greater you are. It has become a quantity over quality kind of a thing. There are so many great artists out there who post like maybe a couple times a year, because most of their work are sketches and studies and stuff like that. And they don't get the recognition because, well, why would they? They're not putting out 1,000 pieces per day. It is something that truly annoys me. Art should never be about quantity over quality. Because part of the process is the time that it takes. Anyway, rant over. I'm gonna draw Teal Bunny. That is great. That is an awesome idea. I don't know. That is like genuinely just something that I think about a lot. How different art is perceived in like the current moment, and how you really need to be able to draw a lot if you want to be recognized. Now for this one, I don't really have a solid idea, but it might resemble something that I, that, you're kind of used to seeing. I'm not saying that it's gonna be a paradox kind of a situation, but maybe. I'm sorry I had to sit up. My legs were hurting. Really, when I even think about myself as an artist, I don't make that many pieces during a year. It might seem like that, but if you really think about the amount of art that I make just for myself, it's not that many. Most of it is honestly nowadays commission work or work for school, which I. Okay, this is kind of a different kind of a case because this is really just my project that I'm using as a schoolwork. But most of the work that I do for schoolwork, that's just like I treat it the same that I treat commissions. I'm not trying for myself when I'm working on commissions or something for like a, I don't know, a project. Because it's not the same. It might not be the healthiest way of viewing it, but Mm, it works for me. I try not to have an eraser. Mm. Honestly, I don't think I own one as well. But then again, when I do work on traditional art, I just use ink, so an eraser is not gonna help me a lot. I know I have a bunch, but where the fuck? I don't know. Do you eat them? I mean, some erasers do look kinda tasty when you really think about it. So I know that the anatomy might be completely wrong. I'm not using any references today. I am way too lazy to look for references. Because I would have to be looking for like hundreds at this point. So I'm just gonna be like completely pulling everything out of my ass today. You know what I mean? Suppose I will be raw dogging it then. Happens. I mean, it's kind of great, isn't raw dogging Tilly? I mean, you can think of it as that. I guess. I assume. Hold on, I can't find my legs again. Oh, there we go. I have to I have to stop giving every single character long hair. This is a problem of mine. Oh my god, but I love drawing long hair just so much. It is so great. I love I love me a character with like good long hair. Uh I promise the next one that I draw will be short haired. Can you even blame me though? I mean, just think about it. Long hair is so nice to draw. Also, I'm trying to keep all of the characters like low-key very androgynous. Except for this one, I guess, because this is also an old character of mine. Pulling up the reference sheet again. You actually had kinda long hair, I forgot about that. Hmm. The front pieces were just short. I don't think I remembered that being the case, but whatever. I really can't get my legs into a good position today. Huh. Hold on. What if I like sit on top of them so I can feel them? Will that help me today? Sometimes that does help me. Sometimes I need to have my legs like completely straight under the table. When I like lift them kinda up. Sometimes I just gotta sit on them until I lose all feeling, I guess. It's one or the other. How is that looking? I do like that. I'm gonna steal it. It's not really stealing when it's my design. But you know. Just an old design that I've never ended up using. Okay, the funny thing, I'm reusing this design for a project. Like for this project, right? But this design is actually based on a really old OC of mine, who is based on even an older OC who used to be a Pokemon OC. This guy is indirectly based on Vaporeon. And honestly, I think you can see that. But it is distant enough, not that easily recognizable that I couldn't use it in this project. I hope. Of course, I'm always going to be able to see the Vaporeon in this guy, but I don't think someone who wouldn't know that would be able to tell. I really hope that is the case. Because I love the design. I do love it a lot. And I want some sort of a use for it. They're all facing the same way. It's a problem. I need this guy to be a bit more boxy because he's supposed to be a bit more athletic. But I'll fix that as it comes to it. Now for the next character, I have to draw someone with short hair. This is... Uh, I've already changed like half of these, by the way. That's awesome. It's definitely gonna make me rage quit, but it's okay. Hmm. It's a problem because I'm so used to just drawing pretty boys. Uh, all of the characters that are gonna end up as twinks. I'm really trying to avoid it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm trying my best to avoid it. And ending up in a situation where every single one of the characters that I've drawn are twinks. But you can't teach an old dog new tricks or something. I don't know. I got that dog in me. It wants every single man that I draw to have a slutty waist and be pretty, and also have long hair. That's like the only. I don't want to give any of the weapons because like weapons are really not that big of a deal in the game. But the pose would work so much better if I gave him a weapon. I'm again just gonna be drawing an old OC of mine, but giving him a bit more pizzazz. Actually changing him the most, so I'm not even gonna pull up the old reference sheet. That's not how legs work. At all. That's just that is just not how they work. It's so stiff. Hold on. It's a too stiff pose. Uh You know what? It fits it. So let me just. Let me just pull up pictures of famous statues. And I am going to. That is perfect. Oh, the ever so famous to me. Although, what is it in English? Contraposo, posto, contraposto, whatever. Uh, the ever so famous to me, mostly because of art history lessons. How about like another angle of this statue? That's great. That's an awesome one. Oh, it feels like I'm back in the building again. But really, this is the easiest way to go about it. When the entire lore of the race involves around the fact that they were turned into statues like thousands of years ago, just so that they could remain as people once the conditions were right. I feel like it is only right that I use my use as a what? Uh, use a statue as a reference. There we go. Wasn't that hard? No. This does not look good. I don't remember how to draw from a reference anymore. Okay, wait, never mind. I can fix this. I can fix him. I just genuinely do not remember how to draw from a reference anymore. It's been a while. I would even say that the last time when I really drew from a reference was back in art school during like art history. Because that's when we had to replicate old paintings and, well, be as accurate as possible with them. So I really do feel like that is the last time that I drew from a reference. I'm going to stylize a bit. I'm gonna mostly keep it recognizable. That leg is way too long. Not even the fact that it's too long, it's just in the wrong perspective. That is a good enough friends to work off of. I'm trying my best to not draw him too naked. What kind of sentence is that? Um, but when I'm looking at a statue that is completely naked, my body just kind of starts adding in the details. It just kind of happens, so I have to keep on telling myself to not do so. Boy, I'm so hungry. How hungry? Would you care to elaborate on how hungry you are? And I would be mindful of what you're gonna say, because so hungry I could eat an angel. That's not how it goes. That's not how it goes. You can't just say that. I even started drawing a horse for you. I'm not on the menu. How many times do I have to say this? Not on the menu. I know, right? It is a really pretty horse. Unfortunately, it has to go now. We don't need the horse here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but the horse has to go. As much as I want to do it again, I will not be giving this guy long hair. It will only be the feathers. I promise. It will only be the feathers. Don't be sad about it. A kilogram of feathers. You know that's not heavier than a kilogram of steel. Anyway, you should probably eat if you're hungry. I feel like that would help you. And I've also come to the realization that a lot of these people are just gonna end up looking like furries. I'm gathering this game towards furries, I don't know. In my defense, in my defense, it is so much easier uh to do like a fantasy based region and everything if you just allow yourself to look at a human and be like, well, what if it had some animal parts? You can make a lot of great things with that. Or be like, okay, what if we mixed this mythological being with this completely normal human? I'm just saying, a lot of the times it makes a lot more sense. And also, it's great. So, through all of Cat Boys, by the way, I know, right? Who doesn't? I I absolutely adore Cat Boys. So we're in the same boat with this one. I do wonder if I have to maybe delete the lion elements. It might be a bit too much. You know what? I might give them to another not so fully fleshed out race of people. Because I do also have an idea of like more cat adjacent people, so I might just make them like more lion adjacent. Because I have been kind of struggling with how to just not make them like fantasy cat boys. So maybe that's the way to go about it. Big kitty, exactly. Because I've really just been like, okay, how do I make this just not cat boys? Because I have another sort of race that is like based on lycanthropy. Because I love lycanthropy in horror. And you can do so much more than just like a regular werewolf with that. So it's like, okay, I need something as kind of an opposite of that. And I was like, what if I just make a bunch of cat boys as one of the options? But really, lycanthropy is so cool. So it's like I'm gonna make a race that is just based on like I guess canines and shapeshifting, technically werewolves. But you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna leave the lion like attributes to that one. It would make also a lot of sense. Just like reasons. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. So unfortunately, I have to cover the sky with clothes. Truly a sad moment for me. But I do kind of have to leave some of the skin to be showing, because it is a very important part. Never thought I would be saying those words, but you know what? Yeah, just yeah. Let me draw the big kitty now, which are not really actually that big. I also really like lions, so it's a great excuse for me to be drawing a lion. Like person. So not a lion, but I'm also thinking about that for each one of these. There will be a full body and maybe a headshot. Maybe some other odds if I have time. Um, so I think it would be kinda awesome if I did take the route of like basing these uh fucking basically cat boys, um basing them on lions and giving them like gender differences. Because I mean, when you really think about animals with big differences, you probably think about lions. I think that would be nice, but not making it so that it's like limited. More of making it so that it's like tradition or something. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I will make that a thing. Maybe I won't. That like is way too far out. It's still too far out. It is still too wait. Will what? I can't. I can't talk today. What if I make this leg into the one that is like the anchor? Will that fix my problems? Well, not all of them. It will fix this one, I think. Even if I do end up making a bit of a more of a gender difference for this specific lineage, it's just gonna be like something like typically males having, I don't know, a more luscious hair to kind of like replicate the main. It's not gonna be anything too big. And just something to make it kind of feel like more thought out, you know. Oh my god, I forgot the lions have like really tiny ears. I completely forgot about that. Struggling with the other hand again. I mean, then again, I can just make it the usual pose. Oop, that's my alarm. Why is my alarm going off? I'm not sure. I might have just snoozed my alarm so it will go off again in like a couple of minutes. Maybe. We will see. That's that's the case or not. It might happen. Did I genuinely just snooze it? I have to check. I'll get scared of it otherwise. I'll think that someone's calling me. Also hi. How are we doing today? Yes, I did snooze it. There we go. The alarm is now turned off and I will not be getting scared by it. I swear. Please believe me. Hello, hi. I feel like that's cute. I'm doing alright. Tired, unmedicated, and draw my mom's card for the first time. I see, I see. It happens. Happens indeed. I think that's cute. That's cute silhouette. Almost forgot the most important part. I swear I should have had a heart rate monitor while driving the car, because holy hell. uh, I think it's a really good thing that I am not allowed to drive cars. Um, it would be a danger to everyone who exists. I don't trust myself as a driver at all. Um, what else do I have left? I can't remember. Is that like an is kinda lycanthropy thing? I was on the verge of crying because of stress. Understandable, I think. I mean, hell, if I was told to drive someone else's car, I don't think I'd make it. I don't know what to do with the lycanthropy one, because I have like a very specific idea for it in mind, but how do I make it without just making like a typical dog boy? That's kind of my problem, I guess. And I guess also something else that happened. No, I cannot. Do you think that I have the capabilities for something like that? I have probably slept for like 24 hours within the last 24 hours. That should tell you enough of how what my current state of being is. That is not even a joke. Last night I went to sleep at 9 p.m. I'm trying my best. I'm really trying my best. Mostly because tonight I have to stay up. Tonight is the night. Today it will happen. I am so hyped. For tonight, we can finally start recruiting people. Pre-planning was technically opened yesterday. We have not been pre-planning at all. There is definitely not like Google Docs of information, multiple builds done, um, Discord server with lead composed of. Our lead team is scaring me, like genuinely. I don't. Galaxy is doomed to fall. No, we're not. Galathia is the best region out of all of them. We are so great. Our lead is composed of 3 completely capable people and a card that, you know, does not definitely does not make it harder for us to do our jobs. Oh, we love XTN in this house. The best god of all. I got accepted into the event. I'm also I'm also a sailor. Hell yeah. Also, don't worry about the chats. Apparently a lot of people are going for more of a militaristic approach, which is understandable. I mean, it is of sailors. So a lot of people are going for more of a, a theme appropriate to that. There will be other regions than just militaristic ones. I hope. I really hope that we're not the only ones. But that is also the part of a reason why I am making Galanthia. Galanthia is, after all, a more of a port town and a region of peace as well as information. So I'm spreading my propaganda everywhere at this point. You will see more tonight. And a lot of the chats that are happening seems to be another group's sort of a planning coming along. I am very happy to see that. I got to talk to one of the people. Why am I immediately getting into character? I have been practicing also getting into character because I will be lobbing the hell out of this event. I'm just saying. Prepare for the most insane POV, like generally the most insane. I am LARPing. Too close to the sun probably. But I got to talk to one of the other people who are planning to make a region during the stress test. And honestly, I am really interested in seeing that one. For I am not the type to play in more of a militaristic one, and I would probably avoid that when I would be like choosing a region because I don't like I don't like playing more of a militaristic characters. I mean, okay, Krell was kind of a difference. Krell was very knight and like army heavy in that way, but we were also very justice heavy. We were after all, a nation of justice. So that is why I went with Krell. Also, I really like the idea of Krell. It was so organized, and God, I love being organized. um, and I wouldn't call Krell militaristic by any means, nor war hungry. I guess more of the thing is that I do not like playing in war hungry nations personally. So I'm making a nation that is the complete opposite of that. Just don't tell our god. Our god is, our god is completely aware of this. I really don't want to be that militaristic. Like I don't mind it too much. I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to do that for my first ever event. Fun fact: my first ever event was a war event. That is how I kinda. Okay, it wasn't really a roleplay one as well, but that is kind of how I realized that it is not my thing. I don't want to be involved in a lot of like war and uh really the constant dread of like PvP and dying is not for me. My first event being a walls PvP event. For most regions, it was definitely not RP. Um, but for the desert, we did. We did have our fun. Let's just say it that way. I do miss it. It was my first ever complete event, and I must say it was great. But you know, it probably wouldn't be something that I would join again if I were given the chance. I do enjoy a little bit of fighting every once in a while, but I am not a PvP sweat, you know? I'm barely even a fighter. I'm definitely not a fighter. I'm a lover, not a fighter, if you know what I mean. Okay, and the last two that I have to draw. Oh my god, my voice. Hello? Uh, last two that I have to draw are gonna be more humanoid. More just kind of people. It's not so much of lineages, more of single cases of corruption and, magic. But I'll still make them into something that you can play. It's just gonna be more diverse in the way of like how your character kind of look like. Which kind of is exactly what I'm going for as well. I want something that is more just like general horror, I guess. Not so much of a specific trope, even though I enjoy that a lot. And when I say more humanoid, I don't mean that they're gonna be completely human, because why would they be? It is something that I am making after all. Hell, when was the last time that I drew just a character who was basically just the dude? Been ages since I did that. But it's still gonna have an explanation. So it's fine. It's really fine. After this, I can get to the fun part of like actually sketching out things. Well, not really even sketching out. I'm just gonna move uh straight into like basically colors and stuff. I love my body horror. I mean, I guess it kind of is just body horror, but You don't know. A better idea for this one. So I feel like the other one is gonna be better represented by that. Mm-mm. And do the nations drop again? If I am correct, now there is a chance that I'm wrong. There is a heavy chance that I'm wrong. Um, uh, but I think it will be at midnight today. Or after midnight today. That is why I'm staying up the entire night. I believe that 5 p.m. EST is midnight here. I might be wrong about it. It wouldn't be the first time. I'm not great with you know, time zones and everything. At least that is, I believe, when the information will be released about like how the forum will be used, how the things that are allowed within this event and everything. So I might be wrong, but I do believe that I'm right. Yeah, I feel like this is the perfect kind of a way to show this. And it rest really well for the week, and I'll be busy. You'll find time. You'll find time checking them out. It's not like there is any sort of rush to do so. A lot of people want to read through all of the possible nations really well, and I do recommend doing so. A lot of the time, uh, I just go for the first nation that I see and that I vibe with. But you really should read through all of them. Really should decide like what do you want to do for the event, what kind of a character you're playing, and in what kind of a group will they fit the best. It's also definitely okay, uh, to like mm, 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 join different discords and just kind of ask about the nations as well. For Cross Economy, which I, after all, did not end up playing in, I think I joined a couple of groups, like smaller ones, and kind of asked around how they were planning to play in the event. But one of the first ones that I did join ended up being the one that I ended up going with because I just really liked their vibe. And then unfortunately my health decided to come into the way of that, but it happens. My social anxiety could never. It is a little bit daunting, but I've come to realize that a lot of people in this community are very nice. I'd say 80% of the people that I've met have been like genuinely amazing and something like some at least somewhat of people that I would like know better and get to be friends with. Like genuinely 80% of people that I met amazing. There are of course like in every community there are people that I do not fuck with personally. And there are bad people, but it happens. My best tip, never be afraid to interact with someone. Let it be someone in the same group that you're playing in. Let it be someone who you just kinda ran into while at it. You can always interact with them. I mean, hell, during Luctoria, I was very nervous because it was my first bigger event. Um, I played in like maybe day events. Never really streamed them because I don't see a reason that it's like a day long event and I almost never end up doing anything in them. Mm, most of the people that I end up interacting with in Luctoria, most of the cases where it's just like these people had walked up to me during, let's say, a build day, and we had a chat, and that was it. And then the next time, next day, when there's an actual, event day, they just come up to me and start talking to me, and it was like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll do whatever. Build days are the best way to meet people. Or when I was out, like doing whatever little bit of diplomacy I got to do, not really even diplomacy, I was more of a just, a sightseer. I was with the people who were doing Diplo. Mm, for example, who is it? Who is it? Pib. We all remember Pib. That time when I went to the mountain with Pib, I had no idea who that guy was. I'm gonna be so honest, I didn't know. And I just never talked to that person before, and I was like, yeah, you know what? Sure, I'll come to the mountain with you. It's very easy to meet people when you have your character to kind of hide behind of. I just honestly can't tell whether or someone is in character when Discord. A lot of people are in character. I would say probably most of the people who are going to be doing any sort of like lead or lead position tend to be always in character, even in like Discord once the nations drop. Uh, a lot of people are in character, a lot of people are not. But mostly, most of the people who are doing lead or doing some sort of a more of a character in the event, they tend to be a lot in character when talking to people, and I feel like it's a good practice because like it lets people know what kind of a vibe you're bringing into the nation, into mm-mm-mm, in the game as well. What are we chatting about? I also have social anxiety. Mm-mm. Uh, Also, you're not interrupting. Don't worry about it. Talking about just like the general experience of Minecraft civ events and how meeting people in them, it can be hard, but I would say if you have any sort of a chance to chat with someone, Do it. These people are amazing. Sure, I struggle with social interactions a lot, so never push yourself too hard when it comes to it. But I would say really the best sort of advice that I have is don't be afraid to answer it to them. Don't be afraid to get into character, kind of vibe check people. Most of us are just a bunch of nerds and a lot of really nice people. I'm saying this because, like, as funny as it sounds, um, after Luctoria, one of the people who were playing a more of a villain kind of in the story did actually like come up to talk to me in Discord, and they were like, "Hey, it was nice to see you in the event." And like, a lot of them are really nice people, even if they're playing complete jerks in the game. Hell, the person who killed me in game is now like someone that I consider my friend. I was playing Fortnite with some famous VTubers and my anxiety made me freak out, surprising one of the twins. Oh my god. Their VTuber twins contacted me to make sure I'm okay. Yeah, a lot of people, even like if you look up to them, you still have to remember they're still people. Like, they will notice that you're not feeling good. They will probably notice that you're anxious. They're still people. They still have human emotions. This goes both ways. They will respect you, and they also expect to be respected, because, like, after all, everyone's just a human. That has been something that has helped me a lot when it comes to my anxiety when talking to people, for example, for events. I just have to remind myself, you're still just a person, like, behind that character, behind the screen. They're gonna respect me if they're a good person. If they're not, then I don't want to deal with them. Hopping in to say hi. Hi, Fen! How are we doing today? Hello, hi. Future is great. She respects me and wants to always make sure that I feel safe and safe in Discord calls. That is great. That is great. A lot of times, like, I feel like I too forget that really everyone's just the person behind the screen. They're gonna understand if I say, like, hey, I've had health issues. Uh, mm, mm, mm. Like, I have health issues. I can't do something like right now. A lot, or hey, I'm not feeling too good. I'm not gonna be able to do this today. A lot of them are gonna completely understand that. They're just people. They have experienced that probably. I just bring that mentality to every single conversation that I have. If they're a good person, they're gonna understand that I am also just a human. I'm good. How are you? It's been forever since I popped by. Mm-mm-mm. It really has it? Yeah, I don't know. I have no concept of time. But I'm doing great. Except for the fact that it's really hot outside and I can't leave my apartment a lot. I did today. I left my apartment for like 5 minutes. Maybe then. I went to the store. It was hell. I'm not doing that again in like a week. But I did it. I'm kind of waiting for the worst of the heat wave to pass before I start going out again because I'm not built for that. With all my illnesses and everything, I'm really not built for that. So now I can start doing the fun thing, which is first of all, doing that. It's so hot here where I'm too. Yeah. I feel like the entirety of the world is currently like in a heat wave and it's I need to go back to like winter immediately. Please. Then again, for me to consider something hot, it has to be like over 15 Celsius because I'm Finnish. It's like okay, let me check. Let me check the temperature right now so you get how much of a how much of a you know honestly a pussy I am and I can't handle any sort of heat. It is only 20 Celsius. I know that it's not a lot, but for someone who cannot handle any sort of heat, it is. I am not built for this. In the triple digits. I really hope you're talking about like the other measurement and not Celsius. I can promise I may end up just shadowing you during build days unless I get comfortable enough to exist. You do that. I don't mind it. During build days, I usually do everything else but build. I am. I'm the worst kind of a person. It's 23 here and I'm gonna fall over and die. Yeah, same. 130 Fahrenheit. I want to check how much that is, but that sounds bad. 100 is the boiling by the water. Yeah, I do have to dip, but I wanted to stop by and check on you. Thank you for stopping by. I I hope to see you again someday, and I do appreciate it. It is roasting at night time. I have to sleep with blankets off. I believe that 130 Fahrenheit into Celsius. Let me see. 45. 45 deg 45 Celsius. That's like double of what we have. How are you alive? Oh my god. That's uh please remember to like drink a lot of water and everything. That is horrifying. My my Finnish ass could never even fathom that. Jesus. Like I could not even imagine. I could not even begin to imagine that, I guess. Oh my god. We have air conditioning. I feel so sorry for the people who don't. Yeah. Oh, that is good that you have that. Oh my god. Oh, that is horrible for the people who don't. Also, like all animals and stuff. Oh god. I cannot even imagine that kind of heat. I am. I'm shocked. It's like I said, I can't handle any sort of warmth. Is everything just concrete and sunlight being reflected off the windows and making the heat unbearable? Yeah. I do live in the city center, so that's like the case for me, yes, at least. There is very little of any sort of like nature around me. I mean, I guess a walk away there is the lake, river, I don't know, um, which kinda helps at times. So it is like a bit windy here at times, and um, it makes it a little bit more bearable. But if it's not windy at all, it's immediately horrible. Having trees could help. It would a lot. Or like I said, living near water. A couple of summers ago, it wasn't so horrible for me because I was living in a town surrounded by multiple different lakes. So, you know, hell, I used to live on an island, like in the middle of the city. I used to live on an island, so it was really not that bad. But I have immediately noticed that, like, mm, since moving here, it does feel a lot different. Before that, I used to live on the countryside, so and the forests and fields, it does help a lot somehow. Like the difference is something you can feel. I love greenery. I got a tiny forest next to my house. Uh, at the other house we have a lake and more tiny forests. I love living near the forest. Half of the city is basically just a bunch of islands, including the mainland. Yeah, it really was. The amount of bridges, the amount of bridges you have to cross to like get anywhere. And usually this would not be a problem. But here's the really funny thing about me. Um, I gotta go have a good stream. Thank you for stopping by. I will see you. I will see you around. Stay safe. Stay safe out there in the heat. Um, mm, what was I saying? Oh yeah. Um, I even talked about how I'm afraid of ovens, right? Like that is ovens and what? Smoke detectors. My stupid ass fears that have no reason to exist and have no basis on them, but for some reason I'm afraid of them, and I cannot explain it. I've talked about that, yes. Another one of my fears that I feel like is a little bit more reasonable is bridges. I hate bridges. The idea of dropping something down from them by an accident. I don't wanna think about that. Every time I cross a bridge, I'm just like clutching all that I have on me, like I'm gonna drop it and lose it forever. And I know most of them are built in a way that you could probably not even drop, like, let's say your phone down them, but I am so afraid every time that I have to cross a bridge that I will drop my keys, my phone, my wallet, and it will just be lost, forever gone, never to be seen again, forgotten the time, and no one will believe me because who the fuck loses something by dropping it down from a bridge? Yes, I hate them. Yeah. Good morning. That's why I avoid bridges, by the way. It's kind of the same as manhole covers, especially those ones with like gaps in them. I will never step on a manhole cover with gaps on it. I'm never stepping on that. I would rather get shot than step on a manhole cover that has those fucking gaps in them. Take them off. Replace them with the ones that don't have them. I hate them. I hate them so much. I'm afraid of the time that I will be holding my phone and I will get like scared by something and I will just drop it in. It's gone. It's forever gone. What am I supposed to do in that situation? No one's gonna get it from that. Sewer kids, yeah. They're horrible. They're so horrible. I love the ones that are like completely covered. Those ones I have no problems with. But sewer gets manhole covers, whatever they're called. DNI. I never want to see one. That's why I don't leave my house. The actual reason has been revealed. I just don't want to exist in the same world with manhole covers. I want to live in a world where they do not exist. What do horse eyes look like? Hold on. I have to look up. Horse eyes. Awesome. I wonder what I seem like when I'm just googling shit like this. I'm just googling horse eyes. Mother horse eyes? It could be. Horses have very emotional eyes. I'm not saying. But you know. I'm gonna make a character that is a mother and has horse eyes. Elite ball knowledge. Horses are very emotional and honestly pretty eyes when you look at them. This was a nice search topic. Last time I was looking up an animal I got scared. Well, horses have nice eyes. Very kind eyes, even. Metal Gate Princess or whatever, the clicking and clanking, yeah. Absolutely no. Hate that. It's great to see that there are other people out here who do not like them. It's like a therapy group at this point. Let me hear them, your most stupid fears. And I will validate you by telling you that I am scared of smoke detectors, so like, really, you have nothing to be afraid of. I'm going for a bit of a more detailed sketch. Just in case that I don't have the time to render all of these, I can just like render over the game. What? Render over the sketch and you know use that. Yes, I did remember right that he has a very straight nose, very straight and tiny nose. Walking into a room either empty or full of people. Okay, room full of people. That's okay with me. No one's gonna notice me in there. I'm gonna blend into the crowd. I'm very good at that. Actually, I'm not. I feel like I catch eyes very easily because I am always dressed like a Victorian child, including the saddened look in my eyes. I don't remember who it was, but a person has once said that I look like a deer in headlights. I have the same sadness, like the terrified gaze in my eyes constantly, and I can't get over that. I think I've also been told that I have the same sadness you only see in like Eastern European gay porn, but like in my eyes, but you know, that's it. That's a normal one at this point. Um, that is an old meme. Old. I feel like it's a Tumblr post. Uh, hold on. I need to find this. What is the origin of the? Mm. He has the sadness in his eyes that you only see in Eastern European gay porn. What is the origin of that post? I can't find it real quick, but it's oh my god. It's about House MD. It's from that show and from that fandom. The original post. I never knew that. I'll be damned. Uh, I can't find an explanation or anything on that. It was just Chase from House MD with that post. That's the origin of it, I guess. What am I talking about again? Anyway, uh, moving on from that, back to horse eyes or something. How do people perceive you when you walk into a room? I don't know, but a lot of the times people tend to ask me if I'm doing okay. So that should tell you a lot of the things. I really need it. I have a certain sadness to me that you cannot explain. Like, people have said that to me a lot of the times that you look really sad and you look really like miserable all the time. And I get it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I get it. I might not seem like it. I'm chatty, I love talking to people. I'm very loud even as a person, and well, not that loud to be honest. And like, I wouldn't say that I'm a sad person. No, I would even say that I'm really confident when it comes to it. Loud and confident. But for some reason, people keep telling me that I look sad, and I do see it. There is something about my eyes, I guess, that just make people go, "Oh, that guy looks sad." It might not help the way that I do my makeup. That kind of, brings that out even more. But I just have a certain sadness to me. It seems that cannot be explained. Even if I'm not sad, I just Mm. I just looked away. I just looked apart, you know? I think I just have a resting bitch face. People don't talk to me just like that. Mm-mm-mm. I mean, that's also very typical, I feel like, for a Finnish person. But, for example, uh, well, I would still do this, but like I said, it's way too hot outside for me as of now. I like going shopping. I like going to places. Sometimes I just go into like museums, art museums, some sort of like showrooms and stuff, just for the fun of it. I go to a lot of like flea markets and stuff. I like being to places, and I like meeting people in said places and talking to them. I don't remember when this was. I might have also thought about this when this happened, so my apologies if I'm repeating myself. But some time ago, probably like a month, two ago, I can't remember too well. When it wasn't so hot outside constantly, I went to this sort of like a flea market that is always in town during the weekends. It's like a walk away from my apartment, so you know, I get dressed all nice and awesome, and I decide that I'm gonna go there today while I'm also going to the store and everything. So I walk in there, and I'm just minding my business at one table and just looking at the stuff there because it was like a jewelry seller. I believe that it was like handmade jewelry, if I remember right. And I was just there, kind of sitting around. The usual person who is at at the booth was not there today. Like I've been to this table before, and I was like, "Oh, this is not the same person that was there." I believe it was maybe like their mother, because it was like a younger person who was always running that booth. And while I'm just kind of browsing the table, sitting there, this like older lady comes up to me, who's looking over the booth, and just goes, "Are you okay? You look really miserable today." Completely unprompted. I was just minding my own business. I feel like I've told this story before. But I was just sitting there, not really thinking about anything. Not sitting, you know, standing there, not really thinking about anything. I was just browsing through different earrings, kind of looking around, being like, okay, if I could find something nice, I might grab them because I have a problem with buying way too many earrings. I love earrings. I love fancy earrings so much. I have like ones that look like wings, and I have snake ones, and I have so many different ones. And I was just like baffled. I didn't know what to say because I don't know this lady. She doesn't know me, I assume. So the fact that she just came up to me and was like, "Are you okay? You look really miserable." I have never been so confused in my life. Like, what are you supposed to say to that? Because I was just having the time of my life. Like, generally, I was listening to music. I was having a great day. I was outside. I was gonna head to the store to grab myself a drink, maybe a little treat even. So I'm just there, like, yeah, I'm doing fine. Everything's fine. I mean, yeah, I'm fine. And she's like, "Are you sure you really look so sad?" And I was like, "Well, I'm not. I'm honestly doing great today." And she was like, well, if there's anything we can do, just tell me. And I'm like, I don't know you, lady. I don't know you. You have no business be asking all this from me. And I was just baffled. I didn't know what to say. So I was like, no, really, I'm fine. I'm just looking around. And I haven't, at this point, even checked half of the tables in that place. And I just turn around and walk out of there because I was so baffled. What am I supposed to do in that situation? I mean, it's great thing she cared, but like, I was having the time of my life. I was out there just minding my business. And I think about that very often. Because, I mean, yeah, it's great that you care, but maybe leave it at the point where the person tells you, no, I'm doing okay. Because, like, she kept on asking me if I was sure about it. I think I would know. I think I would be like, okay, yeah, you got me, I'm not doing great, if I really wasn't. But it just makes it so funnier to know that I was genuinely just having the time of my life. So that is what I mean by when I say that I have like a certain sadness to me, I guess. And that is the best way to describe me. I also think that it helps that I am very quiet. Um, when it comes to in real life. If I'm not with people that I know, I'm not usually the one in, the one talking out loud. I'm most like the one who is just kind of following the conversation as it goes. But yeah, that was definitely one of the situations ever to be in. Also, yes, I will be drinking. I'll be damned, that's empty. Guess I won't be. My Red Bull. Do I go? Do I go and open up another Red Bull? That would be making it the third of today. Or do I go and grab myself a glass of water? Place your bets. uh, I don't like that hand. Oh yeah, the reason why I don't like it is because thumb is on the wrong side. I will be opening a monster for Minecraft. Hell yeah. I won't be opening another Red Bull for a while, but I will be opening one for the night, because hopefully it's gonna be a long one. So better get prepared for it. Because I'm genuinely ready to sit there for the entire night and be answering questions and everything. I'll probably also be like adding every single leader on Discord and just kind of being like, hey, I'm gonna be leading this group. Adding you just in case we have something in the game that we need to, like talk and stuff so I can find you easily. How you doing? But just discussing alliances is completely, well, understandably, banned. I'm just gonna be doing that. Just, adding them just to have a chat and be like, hey, leading this group, Lamau, in case we need to talk, I would add you. In case we need to have the talk. Also, I will be looking into groups just in case that there will be a chance that, let's say, we don't get enough people. I'm gonna be looking into other groups as well and kind of making. Well, of course, I won't be making these decisions alone. But I'll talk to you guys about it more tonight. But I want to get ready for the case where we don't have enough people, and if we have to, for example, merge with another group. I want to be able to know what kind of groups we have as our options. I don't believe that is going to be the case, since if I have counted right, the minimum amount of people that we will be needing is 15 in Galanthia. And out of those 15, we have at least 4 already, so including me. Of course, it also depends if the event has some sort of a minimum amount of people you need for a nation, so we'll see tonight, we'll see tonight. Not gonna say anything too much, because who knows what happens. My legs are itchy from bug bites. I have been spared so far. But that might be because I haven't gone outside. I love that I've made up a whole board of stuff just for the fashion inspiration when it comes to this game and comes to this period in the game. I have so much info about it. I'm taking mostly inspiration from Victorian era clothes. So I like funky silhouettes, and I like a lot of ruffle. As well as taking a lot of inspiration from a different religious attire. Mostly because big parts of the nations are built around religion, so feels right. Of course, built around is very loose term since it's a tabletop. You can do whatever you want. But lore-wise, the sort of a region that it takes place in has a lot to do with the uh, religion of the place. Religions, I would say. And yes, I am giving the horse character hoof-like sleeves. You can't stop me. Partly because it's in the uniform, partly because I really like it. And I want all of these characters to be like the perfect examples of uh the lineages that I'm planning on making for the game, so that's also a part of the reason why I'm really going for a certain vibe with most of these. Because I mean, this is gonna be the example PNG on the page, so it would be stupid of me to go for some sort of a oh, this is like a really rare case of how this sort of a dominant gene shows up in these people. It should be like the most basic case. Except that even the most basic of cases looks like this. Where would the fingers be? I guess they would really just stop here. Trying to make these sketches good enough just in case I have to use them as like kinda the line art in a way. I mean, there's not gonna be a line art, but I'm gonna be rendering over them if I don't have the time to do full on render pieces. So I'm taking some liberties with the design because I mean it's an old design. I was gonna be redesigning it anyway, so mostly just to mimic mm, mimic the random horse that I drew. Random horse. That's basically one of the main gods in the entire thing, but Random horse. I love this, by the way. It is so good. Definitely one of my favorite things that I've drawn so far. Or at least in a while. Like, there is something that I could improve, but why would I? Don't fix something that ain't broken. I love the silhouette, I love the colors and everything, so my phone is dying. Have the most wonderful stream and take care, everyone. Thank you so much for stopping by. You too, have a great day, great rest of your day, and I will see you another time. I'm gonna be making it so that the shoes have horseshoes. So why not? That is actually something that I even did on this one. Since that I've been in love with the idea. I love this design a lot. But I do feel like this redesign is gonna be giving it the sort of a missing pizzazz that I was needing. Of course, I have to draw him sane. Because again, I need a good example. My example can't be a character who stabbed himself with the horn. So it's like, oh yeah, here's a good example of the lineages and how the people tend to look if they have these genes. Ignore that one of the people have, you know, stabbed themselves with the very important horn. Completely ignore that. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's really fine. It's not. Because then it would kind of seem like, oh, they're prone to do that. They're not. He's a special case. I do kind of want to bring this OC back to life because I I love this design. I love their lore. I love their personality and everything. One of my favorites, definitely. I feel like I need to bring this out a bit more. And the hairstyle is not really helping, but it looks cute, so I don't care. So let me make the horn base maybe a slightly smaller area. Because for the longest time, even when I was designing his original design, hard to explain because he looks like that. That's the concept. Sketches also have like a normal picture of this guy. Oh well. My idea was that just like horses have the white markings sometimes on their face, they will have a. Yes, I'm still watching the video. Well, listening to the video. They will have a similar styled marking on their face, but it's the color of their horn as well. It has been like something that I've been thinking about for the longest of times. I was like, oh, this is gonna be peak. And then the one character that I make looks like that. I never got to making more. Wait, that might be a lie. I do wonder if one of the designs that I started working on, it might be in here. Well, I can't find it right now, so. Hey, never mind again. One of the other characters. Yes. Well, it's not the same color as the horn, but the same idea. It was supposed to be, but for some reason I decided that purple looks better than blue. I need to redesign this guy as well. I'm gonna use him for one of the examples. Maybe. Big fan of this trio, by the way. These were the main characters within the story that I was planning. Big fan of them. Might need to go back to it at some point. Let me also save this real quick. It's definitely not done, but I have all the other files here as well, so. I'm gonna throw that in there as well. Also, I love this because you can see how much the design changed just from the concept stage to the so-called done design that I never used for anything. The concept was not that different, but you can tell how much more polished the final version was and how much more it made sense. For example, in the concept stage, I did not make the scar connected to the horn, which it would make sense that it would be. That's the whole reason why they have the scar. So, stupid choice from me. But here you can see that it's like definitely connected to it. And also I never made it so that the horn would also be in their chest, it would just be the wound. But I decided that it would be cool. It would be cool if the rest of it would still be embedded. So I made it look more like a wound. One of the things was also the eyes, because I don't know why I went with a bright pink color. I don't really know what else to say, but this style of ref sheet is something that I would love to do. I would love to do more, but gulp. A lot of the times I skip over the concept sketch phase. It should not be there. It's not just an excuse for me to be drawing my old OCs. I miss them. I miss being an OC artist, but times change. Do you feel like that's good enough? Good enough, at least for now. Hold on, let me. Add in the shirt. Just lightly. So even though they're supposed to be just example characters, I do want them to still have their own personalities and everything that will be shown through the poses and shown through everything. For example, Heidi's, who is this OC, or, the character the OC is based off of, I don't know. What am I saying? In his lore that it was stated that he is really short and like scrawny uh for for his appearance and for who he was supposed to be. So I wanted to make the clothes look extremely big and kind of awkward on him. Sure, it's not maybe the best example, but also he does have the most common elements, which is like, the horse eyes, the ears, the horn. Something that is not shown here because I was stupid and kind of hit it with the hair. The cheek fluff. That is kind of to mimic the way a lot of traditional unicorn paintings have them have some sort of beard. And I was like, okay, that's cute. But I don't want it to be a thing like every single one of these characters has to have a beard. So I feel like that's very limiting. So I was like, okay, what if I make it so that they have like cheek fluff? I mean, horses have that. Some horses have that. So I decided to go with that. And, it's braided. So that's cute. And they are kind of very sophisticated people in lore and in the game. They're also said to be like mostly in in a way upper class because of their origin, which is like divine in a way. It's hard to explain something that you are still working on. It will make sense once I have some more concrete text and file about the project. Anyway, the next guy, still need a name for these ones. Because as of now, I've been just calling them Nephilim. But I don't think I can use that name because it has already a meaning and a very specific one of that. I've been also just thinking about calling them the Fates because it would make sense. It's basically just my excuse of what I want. I want to add in angels somehow. I want to add in winged people because I love drawing wings. I am the wing guy after all. This example, though, might look kind of familiar, but we don't have to speak of that. Not too familiar after all, as I am very limited by some of the things, but you know, gotta somehow sneak in a subtle self insert. So for once, I'm using just like my normal art style for a project because I'm the only artist. I don't need to make style something that another person could replicate. That is a part of the reason why I really wanted to work alone on my summer project. I was like, I'm tired of changing my style. I'm tired of like thinking about how to implement certain elements and stuff if I have to change my style. Just like, I just kind of want to draw. I just gotta work on something that I like working on. So like character designs, world building. Also because I'm so done with group projects for a while now. I could go into more detail, but we'd be here for a week if I started ranting about that topic. Let's just say my luck with group projects is not that great. Hmm. The swing shape makes like no sense. So I might have to do a little bit more practice and like maybe another definitely like a headshot or something of this. Well, not even this guy, just another guy with the same sort of a wing shape. To really make it like, hey, this is not the artist not knowing how to draw wings. This is just genuinely how their wings look like. They are constantly upturned to almost form like a point at the middle of it, in which the halo is formed. Oh my god, I love that facial expression. How do I keep cooking today? Why does that look so good? Damn, okay. Huh. So the hair makes no sense. I just realized that I'm stupid. Let me make it a bit more natural. It doesn't have to be like completely natural, but I want it to be making at least a bit of sense. There we go. Someone has sent me a message. Or maybe it's something about. Is this something important that I have to note? Okay, it's not anything important as of now. Today is my day, it seems. Unfortunately, I do have to go soon, but before that, now what the hell have I been thinking here? Is that the wings on the background? Yes, that is the wings. Uh, let me try to decipher what I've been thinking of here. I'm gonna avoid drawing the hands because I don't know how. I don't know how to draw that pose. I mean, I could also just do this. You know what? I'm gonna do that. That looks great. Definitely not, because how do you draw? How do you draw someone with like a praying pose? I'm not meant for that, huh? And that really does help with the sleeves. Yes, yes. This is great. Helps with the silhouette a lot as well. You know, calling them the fates would make a lot of sense. I might go with that. Like I said, a lot of the well, I should just talk about Phantophobia because like that's the name. Phantophobia. That's my project name for it, my project. A lot of the things have to do with like horror and religion and religious horror because I'm a sucker for that. No, not even any sort of an excuse for that. I just really like religious horror. Um, mm, so a lot of the themes have to do with it. And my I need to get an angelic race into this game. The thing was made up of what if there was an old god of death who used angels as kind of like, the people through the god would communicate through the people. And I was like, okay, there's gonna be three different sort of like types, uh, if you will. Only one of them is gonna survive until the end and be like the start of the lineages in a way. Um, and it would have to do with like death and different stages of it. So I was like, okay, we have the classical angel of death, angel of life, and I was like, okay, what the fuck is the third one then gonna be? Because I don't like the number two. So I went with like, what if we have one that just has to do with like healing? Because in a way, that is also a stage of death. You can heal from a well, you can't heal from a fatal illness. That's a the word fatal is in it for a reason. But healing is a stage of death. So I was like, okay, what if I make one of them into healing? And that is how I made an entire race. That is just like basically angels, but we're not gonna call them that because I'm cool and awesome, and I'm making a totally original point here. I will be giving them more elements that are not so typical. For example, the one that I forgot to draw because I'm stupid, and which is the reason why their wings are in an upright position. Because I also want elements of the actual, god still be there, which is the antlers, and I cannot remember how to draw antlers. Is that good enough? I feel like that's good enough. Music. You know what? I'm too lazy to start looking for anything. 3 hours of Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. Awesome. That will be what I will be listening to. Oh, the pings that I'm getting from are from Crest Economy. Makes sense. I listen to Snake Eater every time that I'm like building in Minecraft or uh doing something repetitive. I don't know why. It just became a habit of mine. I also want some of the pictures to have some sort of like attire. It can be associated with a certain class or a certain background. For example, I'm going for a more religious attire here. Really hungry, by the way. Letting y'all know that. So I might just finish up this sketch and then go to eat. I ate uh 2 chicken sandwiches today. Like actual sandwiches, not like the hamburger kind. Earlier today. It was great. My favorite kind of chicken sandwiches from the store. They were on sale. Well, not on sale. They were going bad. They were on discounted because they were going bad. They're really expensive. So that's like the only time when I really buy them. I can't even imagine how they would taste if they were fresh. Probably so much better. But you know, one day. The silhouette will look so much better without the wings, but I have to add them. What a shame, what a shame. I have to draw wings. How can I live with this terrible fate that has been put upon me? This absolutely horrifying fate. Also, instead of angel wings, I'm gonna give them like more of a bird wing kind of situation. They're gonna be colored because I like bird wings. They have cool patterns. Really, the only angelic elements is like they have wings and a halo, I guess, but uh, oh yeah, the glowing hair, maybe. I'm still kind of in between if I want to do that. So I also could do that for the unicorn people. And for another group as well. I like making things glowing. I like drawing a glowing effect. It's great. It looks pretty. Also, I really want this to be like fantasy. That's why I'm staying away from making any of them just like, oh, this is the lineage where you're a completely normal guy, where you're just a human. Um, or like any sort of this is a human but different height, and they have they can see in the dark and they have long ears. I'm talking about elves. Like I want to avoid doing anything like that because I really want it to feel fantasy. I want it to feel like something that does not exist. And I feel like uh I don't know, otherwise a completely normal human guy, but they can see in the dark does not really scream fantasy, but rather someone who is used to being in the dark. For example, I can't see in the light. I can only see pretty much in the dark because I have adapted Yes, you can adapt to that. I don't I don't use lights in my house, for example, unless I'm streaming. Otherwise, my room is most of the time completely dark. I have blackout curtains, so the sunlight doesn't come into my room because I don't like the sunlight. It makes me feel nauseous. And when I go outside and it's even a little bit sunny, hell, it's even cloudy, I use sunglasses because I genuinely just cannot stand any sort of light. Again, I don't know why. Maybe because I'm so used to being in the dark. So I really don't want to make like a human like race because it just doesn't feel fantasy to me. That's why everything that I've been making is like fucked up little guys. They look really just like angel wings right now, but they will have patterns more into an bird wing. So you know, it will be fine. It will be fine. I really don't have any other pointers to them that I could add. They don't have like a unique type of an eye either. I mean, I was thinking about giving them more eyes, but I like eyes. Honestly, I could make that a thing. When you really think about it, it would make sense, kinda. And the fear of eyes is a real thing, so you know what? Hell yeah, why would I make that thing? Why wouldn't I? Not that I'm trying to fit this eye here in a natural way, but it's kinda hard to fit another pair of eyes on someone's face in a natural way. And also in the similar sort of a style. No, doesn't look good. That kinda looked good. So if I maybe delete that part, gonna make it like a yeah, that looks good. That looks as natural as I can probably make it look. I'll fix it in render if I need to. But I feel like that looks natural enough. but also kind of disturbing, which is great for me. I feel like both of the eyes are a bit too high up. Or maybe not. Maybe it's just the fact that there is now another one that I'm looking at. But then again, hold on, what if I make them so that one pair is like always closed? Partly because that is gonna make it a lot easier for me to draw. And kind of would make sense. Unless I would give them like spider vision, I guess. But yeah, might do that. Hmm. I only got through 2 of the sketches, but I mean, I did also sketch out every single other one. Let me resize them as well so that I can. Some of them are gonna look really short, because the bosses take up more space. I guess that's the case now. It's the closest to just a guy as of now. Because the colors are not there and the texture is they're supposed to be made of stone, but you can't really tell that because it's just a sketch. And not a good one of that as well. Here we got the cats. Or, well, the lions. Might make them generally like, no, lions, but like big cat. They're definitely not a lion. Then we got the lichens, which I have like no idea yet. I know that I want lycanthropy because I love lycanthropy. So I know that much. Then we have the what have I been calling them? Yet to I've been calling them the golden light, but I might change that into something like Stricken or whatever. I'll have to see about it. Then we have again someone who's gonna look really short because wings taking up most of the space. I'm sorry, buddy. Basically, people so-called infected with blood magic, so that's a fun mechanic that I have to think of. You can see that they are kind of fucked up looking. Well, you can't really see it through the sketch, but it's okay. I don't know why I've been on like a actual I don't know what I've been on. Now that I think about it, I don't know. Hot streak, definitely, because like these look so good. I don't know why, but I'm in love with these 2 sketches. I feel like they're so good. I kind of would have. Well, I mean, I've only drawn 2 people, and I'd say there's differences in their face shapes and everything. I kind of would have, try to get them as different as possible for each character, but as of now, I can't really tell from 2 people that I've drawn with faces. Anyway. Oh. Um. Oh, what's happening? Announcements. 4-hour application notice. Mm-mm-mm. Okay. Sorry, I had to check some things. Anyway, it's been nice chatting to y'all and making some art. Sorry, size of the screen. There we go. It's a lot better. Anyway, for that, I think I will be going. I need to go eat. I need to go prepare. 4 hours. 4 hours till the doomsday. Doomsday, not doomsday. What? I have to start collecting what we really want to put on our recruitment post, and also probably playing Minecraft first. I know. I'm gonna do that first. I'm gonna eat, and then I'm gonna log into that. I will see you guys tomorrow, though. I might do another art stream. I might do something else. I don't know. I don't know yet. But as of for now, thank you all for being here. It has been nice chatting with y'all. And I hope to see you guys another day, maybe tomorrow. Maybe even tomorrow. Mm-mm-mm. Do we want to raid someone? Do we have someone to raid? I'm trying to think of someone that I haven't raided in a while. Okay, there we go. Thank you all for being here. There's my end. There we go. I will start raid in just a moment.